It's time to get on up with Jam and Renee. And here's your hosts, James Arthur M. and Renee Culver.
Well, good morning, Backchannel. I didn't see you there. Welcome to Backchannel, the only place where you can listen to, watch, and chat live with your host. And y'all are watching Get On Up with James Arthur, your morning jam for the morning.
And Renee Culver. That was so perfectly 90s sitcom. I loved it so much. Well, you doing, guys?
What are you?
I didn't know. I did not know. What? Come on. And you perfectly mastered perfectly word, because there's like an arbitrary activity you need to be doing. So like most people aren't just like, oh, should I make sure the coffee cup's okay? You caught me looking at the coffee cup, because it's never like an actual activity that they're
No. Like I think Judy Winslow was cleaning a basketball on Family Matters. You got me cleaning my basketball.
like we all do every morning.
Oh my gosh. Well, good morning, Get On Uppers. Look who we've got here in the audience. Do you see him, Renee? Can you
a full-blown dream team?
tell me who they are?
Yes, I would love nothing more. London, so happy to have you. Karimus, thrilled to have you. Appice?
You did it. I think so.
Okay. Michelle and
Appice
Jane
from Texas.
we love it.
And Jane.
No. Okay.
No.
All right. Happy to have you.
Right.
No.
Got our
Jane,
first no
I
of the
get
day. You know what? What's
No.
nice? We're strong. We're resilient. And we can take it. Yeah,
no, can't take me down. Are you kidding? Please.
Well, this is great. If you would like to, and this is what's so great, as Jane's pointed out, you get to interact with us on the show. And so would love some more positivity there. Hi, Lori.
There we go.
Good morning.
Hi, Lori.
There
Happy to have you.
You want to be cool like Lori and join in on the conversation into your Echo device or your Excella, which is something backwards. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get her jibber jabbing for you.
You don't want to wake her up. Yeah.
And welcome to Stacy as well from Texas. Morning, Stacy. Hope you had a great weekend. And you can also, if you're on YouTube, you can chat. You can use your old typing fingers.
Typing.
Great. You can type anything. Perfect. For example, you can say, into your device, say, James, are you practically wearing pajamas today? And the answer might be yes. No. I am still on staycation, folks. The only thing I am doing is this show because I love you. But from the main job, from Wednesday to Wednesday, so Wednesday last week to Wednesday of this week, and I'm taking it easy. I was like, why am I wearing full pants? I'm wearing sweatpants. I never wear sweatpants. So even though you can't see, I feel like, I want to give you that professionalism. And not today. I'm going right back to bed after this show. I'm going to get on up and then get on down.
Get back down. Get on up, get back down. And that is absolutely okay. That's 100% okay. Honestly, I think you deserve all the credit in the world for even showing up at all. On a vacation, no less. Ridiculous. Who's up this early on a vacation? I'm proud of you, but it's nuts.
I've had to go to bed early. I'm on staycation. I got to go to bed early.
Okay, well.
Anything for the Get On Up bunch?
Do appreciate that, and that is consistent with who you are. But if you didn't have this show, when you normally take a vacation, do you let yourself do a little sleep in?
I sleep. I go to bed late, and then I wake up late.
Yeah. Normally. Okay. Are you feeling like you were still getting a vacation, even though you're doing the show early in the morning?
Yeah. I mean, I went to Six Flags. What else did I do? I went shopping. We'll get into this in the weekend. But I still have 3 more days left. It is going to be great. It's going to be great. Get on uppers. In a moment, we're going to do a weekend check-in, and we want to know how your weekend is. But I want to tell you what's coming up in the show. What do you look forward to? What are you looking forward to in today's show? First of all, you got to watch us get on up as the day goes on. Oh my gosh, you are going to before your very eyes. My voice will be less like Tara Reid party girl voice and more like a human being.
And then watch it like the sun cresting over the mountainside.
Already taking off my
Yeah.
hoodie, so I'm getting warm.
Okay.
I'm
It's a
warming
little
up.
it's a little hot. I get you.
Yeah.
I think those are if those are your PJs, those are very cute PJs.
Oh, no,
That's
This
great.
is I'm
Okay.
wearing sweatpants
That's a
and
nice
a
okay.
baseball tee.
PJs.
So I
Okay.
feel like I'm wearing pajamas.
Okay. I get you. I get you. I get
Yeah.
you. Well, it
The
doesn't look like
bottoms.
it. It doesn't look like it at all. But Get on Uppers Jam is right. We do have such a wonderful show for you today. We are obviously going to check in on the weekend. Jam went to Six Flags. I think that's going to take up about 90 minutes of the show based off my follow-up questions. She loves the theme park. So there will be a lot of questions, and I'm sorry in advance. And then after that, we'll be doing our celebrity birthday quiz of the birthdays that happened not only today, but also are happening over the weekend. And then it is March still. So that means it is still Women's History Month. So yet again, Jam, all the heavy lifting up top, Jam, my goodness gracious, will be giving us a little Women's History moment. And today's, is today Hattie? Who's today? Who do
Nope.
we have today?
Who do we have today? It is today. Oh, it's a great one. Oh,
Yeah.
it is so great. Alma Thomas today, artist, an artist
Amazing.
painter. Artist painter.
Amazing.
You've seen her work.
I was looking at last week's stock and I thought, oh, we're going to do a follow up on Hattie. That's great. It's a part 2, but it's not. Okay. I get you.
Great. Well, it happens. All right. Well, and then we're taking Monocle Monday into the news. We're taking a closer look at the news this morning with our monocles. Get those monocles ready. And then we will be spending it's Marvel Movie Monday. So we're going to do a deep dive into this week's Marvel movie. And until we get out of phase 1, I'm always like, I might lose Renee. I don't know how this Incredible Hulk went before Renee.
Well, but you know what's so nice is that I love the Iron Mans. So we had 2 Iron Mans, and then we had this one. And because you made me watch all the way through, I was just like, okay. Which I won't get into just yet. But
right. Okay. All right. I was like, there's a treat for Renee at the very end of the movie.
No. I just... Would you, just to give a little teaser of the 26 films that I will be watching, how would you rank Hulk and funniness?
Oh, we'll talk. I have a moment. I wrote down the exact moment that was funny. There's like 5 minutes of funny that happened in the movie. Like it was 5 minutes. And so I was like, ooh, let me make a note of this. And I was like, oh, this, So we'll talk about, I'm curious if you found any moments funny. There's one like 5 minutes of stretch where I feel like they remembered, oh, we could do some comedy here.
Right, we could have a little fun here. We could have a little fun. Was it when Phil Dunphy came on? From
No, actually, I had a different moment. I have a different moment, so we'll do this. And looks like Stacy, good morning. Looks like you can't stay for long. You got lunch plans. Look at you, Stacy.
I got a lunch.
Move.
I got a lunch.
Get it. We love it.
Also, welcome to Isaiah, Travis, and Elizabeth. We're so happy to have you.
Just keeps growing. We just keep growing. Love it. Love to have y'all. So just catching up. Here's what we're gonna do for today. The second half. So we'll do our Marvel Movie Monday, Incredible Hulk. We're gonna play top puppets. Who are your top puppets in honor of this really great stuff that's happening with the Jim Henson Sesame Street land, as I recall.
Yes, and it is National Puppet Day.
Oh, okay,
today
there it
is national. There we go. Why?
I could not remember why. I was like, who?
For love or money.
Friday production meetings can get really wild end of the week.
Yeah.
We're tired.
Yeah.
Top puppets. Okay.
To the point where I think I might motion to should change that production meeting. Should we maybe do that on a different day?
But yeah, that's right. It's National Puppet Day. We love it. And then we're gonna do some intention setting with our mantra Monday. It's a lot to do. A jam-packed day for you. We are getting this week started off right.
Yes, absolutely. And if we don't get to all of it, that's fine. That's why there's Tuesday.
That's why there's always Tuesdays. The leftovers of the name.
Thank you.
It really is. We'll just reheat it like pizza, like day old pizza.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that we have landed on what is Tuesday's assignment, but we may want to invoke that it's Reheat Tuesday. When didn't you do on Monday? When did you get around to?
That's true.
Fine.
What did it make it? All right, let's everybody was working for the weekend. They did it. Da, 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 da.
Da-da.
Get on uppers. There was a weekend. If you were able to enjoy it, or you did it, or you experienced it. Again, I don't want to assume that everybody is working on Monday through Friday, but 2 days happened since we last saw each other. How was it? What did y'all get into? Into the comments. Shout it out so the whole world can see it. Say, I went to the moon and back. And I would then be like, Elon Musk, what are you doing here?
What are
Go
you
be a
doing,
better
Elon?
person.
So happy to have you. This is
I have notes.
good
I have
because
notes,
I
Elon
have
Musk.
some things to say. Just some
First
quick
of all,
suggestions on how to
Elon.
spend your money.
Elon shows up and we just give him a lecture. I'm sure he's used to it. Renee, how was your weekend? What
Yes.
did you get into? What did you do?
It was good. I teased that I was going to a murder mystery party and a gift from, and there's no other way to say it, the heavens rest upon my phone around 2 p.m. on Saturday of the murder mystery party saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It has been canceled."
Oh, yay.
What a gift! 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 So I did not have to go to a murder mystery party, but instead, my friend that I was gonna go to, we just grabbed a quick bite. We grabbed a dinner. We were home by 9. That's a perfect Saturday, the likes of which I've never seen. So thrilled. And then on Sunday, I went on a big long hike with my favorite people in Los Angeles. Not my favorite people ever because you are not here. But my favorite people in Los Angeles. I went on a little bit of a hike. I watched the Hulk. And I also watched Turning Red, Pixar's Turning Red. Have you seen that yet?
Oh, I want to see that. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it this week. So
After
I'm
you
hoping...
watch it, yeah, I think it'd be important to talk about because
Okay.
it's a little groundbreaking in a good way.
Oh, okay. I
know.
definitely want to check that out. And while everyone was hearing that you were reporting on your weekend, so they jumped right into
Yes.
the stream. So we
Yes.
have Robin join, Yielding Sheep, Derek, and you have joined.
And you.
You.
And you.
And you. You. And Stacey watched Dick Tracy last night, so that's great. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. One with Madonna,
Forever.
and it's Tommy Lee playing Dick Tracy. Am I remembering that right?
No.
It's
Well,
not him?
maybe. I did.
Okay.
Hold on. Dick
Now we gotta find out.
Tracy,
Oh,
Madonna.
so I had teased that I was gonna go on a hike, and then I
Yes.
was so tired. I was so tired that I couldn't. After we did the show, I laid
Yeah.
down. I took a nap. I had
That's
to because I'm on staycation. I'm allowed to do it. I
more than
was
fair.
just so tired. And the hike I'm gonna go on is actually 4 hours, and so by the time I went to the gym,
No.
and then I just had to drive. It's an hour
Absolutely
away
not.
to go start the hike, and the sun was gonna set. So I decided my goal is to do it on Wednesday, so I'll get nice and rested up. So after the show,
Perfect.
go to
Great.
the gym, and then go for my hike. So that is my goal. So what I do on Friday,
Amazing.
did some cleaning. I am now officially banned from Macy's. I
Uh-oh. Now we
poked
got
my
a
head in.
text. We got a
I
text.
went downtown to go get my
Yeah.
nephew. It was his birthday. I got him some Hot Wheels from Target. And then I was like, let me just peek into Macy's real quick and see. I had no
Just real
goal.
quick. Just real
I
quick.
had no
Yeah.
goal. Let me just see. Is there a sale? Dumb question. If it's the weekend, there's always a sale at Macy's. Do we have any
course.
Macy's cards holders here on the Get
Yeah.
On Up? I tell people, if you don't have a
Okay.
Macy's card, you're doing it wrong. It is
Okay.
true. And you only shop Thursday to Sunday.
Okay.
And because there's always a sale. Valentine's Day sale. They had a 4th of
Right.
July. They had a Black Friday sale in July. And then
Oh
this
boy.
weekend it
Okay.
was just
Yeah.
this
And
weekend
then
there
what
was no
happened this
theme.
weekend?
It was just
Okay.
sale.
It was just everything's
It
on
was
sale.
just-
Everything
it
must
was
go.
sale.
Now, what does the card do? You get a sale on top of a sale? If you have a
Additional
card?
20% off on top of the already sales that are happening.
No, that's
So,
pretty good. So let's hear about this loot. What did you what'd you walk away with?
I don't want to
What'd
bore
you
you
walk
with the
away with?
details. I don't want to bore you with the details.
Okay, but it was
And
enough
then
that
I banned
both Sarah and
myself.
I got you have to ban me from Macy's. I'm not allowed back
I'm
in.
not allowed to go back until June. I'm good. I have all
Okay.
that I need. But
Okay.
then
Yeah.
I also now I have to put a caveat because they said
Okay.
I'm not allowed to go there till June. But then what did I do after I was done texting you all? I went
You
online to
kinda
Macy's.com and bought a pair of shoes. So I'm also not
Yeah. Okay.
allowed on their
All right,
website.
no more online. I'm proud of you for finding a loophole to your own rule. It's like you can't trick me. I'll find a way. I'm gonna get it online. I appreciate that. And then now I don't want to encourage this bad behavior because you've clearly stated that you don't want it. But I think another loophole could be asking a friend to get it for you if you want it.
Oh,
There's
okay.
ways around this. We
No,
can
I'm just
enable this all the live long day if you need.
no,
If you
it's
need.
I am concerned. I'm concerned. I'm not allowed in or on the website. I'm gonna block it.
Okay.
You know, you can
Okay.
block websites. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
curious, get on uppers. Do you have any stores that you are just like, if you go in, you're in trouble? And for some people, it's IKEA. Renee, do you have one? Is there a store that like
I
Petco?
do. Honestly, I think it might be like Postmates. Then it could be like, no, absolutely not. I was listening to a budget podcast of how to save, and they sort of gave the notion of it's a technique that you can apply if it pertains to you, of like to pick your 3 things that you value. Those are the 3 things that you can be a little indulgent in. So for you,
Mm,
you could pick, well, I can get anything I want from
Macy's.
Macy's, but that means you can't do it elsewhere. So I think mine are taking care of the dog, like
Uh-huh.
making sure the dog's probably taken care of,
Yeah.
and then fun, adventure, and then I don't know what my third one would be.
Macy's.
What is
Make
my
it
third one?
Macy's.
Oh my God, this is probably Postmates, right? It should be.
Go get yourself a Macy's card. I'm signing you up. And then I'm
Right.
sending you a list. I'm gonna
Thank you.
use
And then
your
here's what I need. And here's what I need.
I'm gonna use your idea. Oh man. Okay, but then the cred. So I actually, Renee, we did a Freaky Friday switch. Because I'm on staycation. I went
Right.
out at 9 o'clock. I had to go to Six Flags the next day, and I was like, oh, I'll be in bed by like 3:30. Oh
Oh,
my god. It
puppy.
was a gaggle of gays. I went out with a gaggle of gays. I made new gay friends. We went out. It was really great. And then
Yes.
here's the thing. And then so I went to Six Flags, got on the ferry, 4 hours of
Right.
sleep, managed to drink all the coffees.
Whew, impressive.
Uncle
Very
James coming to
impressive.
the rescue.
Yeah.
And so we went to, hi, Derek. Good morning. Hello. We're talking about the weekend. I went to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom here in Northern California. It used to be Marine World. Back in the day, it was like just pretty much a giant interactive zoo. You could it was just covered with like animals. You could like ride the elephants. You could feed the giraffes. There was a whale show. There was a bird show. There was a lion show. But it got bought out by Six Flags like 20, maybe how old am I? Almost about 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. And so then Six Flags was like, yeah, we're going to put roller coasters. And so they just started taking the animals kind of like away. They had this like dinosaur exhibit once, like when Jurassic Park came out. Never as good as you think it's gonna be. It was like animatronic, and it's just like, oh, these are just robots that don't move. They had this like they were like, oh, we're launching this shark experience, and you thought it was gonna be like in Jaws, like it's like underground, and you're like underneath. There's like sharks all around.
Right.
But then you get there, it's like
just
a
few
60-second escalator thing that just moves you really quickly across. You're like, oh, came here for this.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Poor parents who I just listen, I am one of them. I am now part of, these are my people at this point, but they can't find their camera on their phone, and so by the time they do, I'm at the end of the escalator.
You already got
so you never got to pick.
They've changed it up, so I think they're just glad that you're there now. So like it was I don't know how much money they're pouring back into this park because it just, they got rid of a lot of the animals, which makes sense because I think we're in this mindset of like, animals don't want to be here. It's not the 1800s anymore.
Absolutely, and you're not taking proper care of them.
They put all these like roller coasters in here, so there's like less and less animals, and also I'm sure the roller coasters were not good for the animals. Not great.
Certainly not.
Most of they're used when I was a kid. There was like there was like a dolphin and whale show. There would be like 5 dolphins swimming in formation, and then there'd be 2 whales that would do a show. Oh wait, not this yet, Sarah. Wait, not yet. Not yet.
I mean,
okay.
Got a little all in due time. All in due time. It's coming.
The cue will be. Yeah, I was on a roller coaster. All right.
And that's a good cue. That's a good cue for such a thing.
Yes. We didn't rehearse. We didn't rehearse.
No.
There were 5. So there used to be like 5 dolphins and like 2 whales. Has anybody seen like a dolphin and whale show? Here's the thing. These dolphins, they're very talented, but they should not. They don't want to be doing a string. They don't want to be doing it. I've watched. If you watch, what is it?
Blackfish.
Yeah, is that the one about the dolphins? Is that the dolphin one?
Oh, I guess I don't know that I would probably
There's
after
a
you watch Blackfish,
dolphin.
you'll never go back. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a dolphin one,
Okay.
and I had been swimming with dolphins once, and I would never do this again.
Sure.
Now knowing what they do and go through, but when I was a
Right.
kid, they'd be
Yeah.
swimming in formation. They jump up so high. They do all these
Of
things, but
course.
now you go. There's two dolphins left.
Mhm.
One of them is 31. One of them is 35.
Oh.
I am 36. I've been watching these dolphins since I was a kid. Liberty. I remember when
Wow.
Liberty was born. It was a big deal. Like, here's our new baby
Wow.
dolphin, and it's so fascinating because they don't do any of the big jumps anymore. I mean, they're old dolphins. They're
Yeah,
like, they're not,
tired.
they're
Yeah,
just,
absolutely.
they
There's
literally,
no
most
need
of the
for
show
it.
was Renee was like, let's
Yeah.
hug. They're like, here comes the dolphin trainer. She's getting in the water and she's gonna hug the dolphins. And they just
Yeah.
had music in the background.
Of
The dolphins would
course.
kind of do a little bit of a dance. They jump up a
Right.
little, but because there's no more whales, so
Yeah.
my nephew's there for my nephew's birthday. We were like, let's sit in the very front row. They're like, it's the splash zone. I'm like,
Of course.
the dolphins,
Great.
they're not the whales. They can't
Yeah.
splash that
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Well,
gonna be a
they've
sprint.
reworked the numbers, so they just use
Uh-oh.
their flipper and they just go
Uh-huh.
by and they go
Cute.
flap.
Pachoo, pachoo, pachoo,
Flap.
pachoo, pachoo.
And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
soaking wet.
Of course.
Just
Of course. Yeah.
soaking wet. It was
On
absolutely
4 hours
gross.
sleep. Okay.
4
All right.
hours
Yeah.
sleep,
No, no,
lots of coffee, salt water all over. Yep. And but they also try to pitch the show. They're just like, we love the dolphins. It's all about love. The dolphins love being here. We love being here with
Right.
them. The host seems like he was kind of phoning it in a little bit. Like this was the
Oh,
second show of the day.
yeah,
A
you
little bit
can't do
done.
that. You gotta act
A
like
little
every
done.
show's the number one show. You don't know who will be in the audience.
You don't know.
Did
You could be
your
discovered.
sweet nephew? We took my nephew to Waterworld Live SeaWorld Spectacular at Universal, and it was the same like splash zone. We gotta sit in the splash zone. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not quite putting together what splash zone means. So he was so excited, and then they splashed him, and he was so mad. He was so mad.
Yeah.
How did your nephew handle that splash?
It always seems like a good idea at the time, but you get
Yeah.
splashed a lot throughout this little 30, 40-minute show. Get on uppers
Yeah.
if you ever sat in the splash zone and regretted it. It seems like a good idea at the time. When I was a kid, we
Yeah.
used to love it because it'd be so hot at Marine World.
Of course.
And we were like, we go to the whale show so we can get wet. And then,
Right.
like it was part of the experience. And now as an adult, I'm like, I feel like I would wet my pants. And like
Mhm.
it just kept going. They just
You're
kept
just soggy all day. Yeah.
they just
But
kept
did
doing
your
it.
nephew like it? Was your nephew happy with it?
He was, I think by the fourth splash, he was like completely over it. I'm like, the show's almost
Okay,
over. I'm
it's
just
too
gonna sit
much.
right here.
Right.
It's fine. Fine. And then so they have rides. I rode on some of the little kid rides with him, but then eventually we found our way into the big kid area.
Excuse
I
me.
managed to get on 2 rides. I wish it was more. I wish
That's
it was
okay.
more,
It's
but I
okay.
got on
It's okay.
2.
Yes.
Sadly, it was 2 of the rides that I've already ridden when I was a teenager.
Oh,
I didn't get to the new stuff, so I gotta go back.
okay. Well, we like the nostalgia of it. What are the 2 rides that you rode as a teenager, and how
We
did they compare?
wrote. They were called Medusa, and there was
Mm.
Kong. And it's weird because the park was bought by so it's supposed to be DC themed, and they have some
Right.
like Superman, Batman. They still haven't figured out, are they redoing the park to be with this new DC theme? Because then there's
Right.
still like Medusa and Kong, which is supposed to be like jungle safari.
Yeah.
And even though the Medusa ride is the exact colors of the Joker, so you could just call it the
Sure.
Joker.
That's easy.
Instead,
Mhm.
they renamed the wooden roller coaster, which was called Roar. They named that one the Joker.
Oh, yeah, no, they messed up.
And
They messed up.
instead of
It's
the
okay.
green and purple one, like, oh, the Joker loves his wooden tricks. So anyways, there's
Very,
one
very funny.
thing about
Yeah.
me when I ride roller coasters, I
Yeah.
am always camera ready. So
Yeah.
we did get onto one ride called
Okay.
Medusa. It's one of the most fun roller coasters I've ever been in my life. It's so long, it keeps going.
Great.
Roller coaster.
Yeah. Here we go. Here comes that photo. It's coming any minute now. Any minute, I
So we
believe.
captured a photo.
Yes. And
of the ride.
they were able
There
to
we
take
go.
it. Come on. Oh, you are camera ready.
So
Yeah,
I don't know
good.
if we're able to zoom in on this at all, Sarah. But first, so my cousin on the far right, he
Right.
said, "Look at me,
Come
camera
on. Having the
ready."
best
And then
time. Even
so
your
there's my cousin
eyeline is
BJ.
perfect. You know exactly where to like.
So my cousin over here, he knew the camera was coming, but he went to the wrong direction.
Of course. Well, it
He's
happens to the best
finger
of us.
pointing in the wrong direction. It is great. So, but Lo, back
Delightful.
to me. Let's look at
Yes,
let's.
focus,
So,
focus back.
so if
Look
you're
at
on a
this
roller
one.
coaster, just know there's
Yeah.
always got to be a camera. You got to be camera ready. Got to be camera ready
You
at all
do.
times. We made my cousin's fiance get into the front row. Well, they told us we had to go to the front row, and we didn't fight
Sure.
them. You got to
Oh,
go in
yeah.
the front or the
Okay.
back. The front or the back. The front,
Those are
you're
your
gonna get to
choices.
see everything, and the back, you
Yeah.
get the most speed. So it's the front or the back.
Yes, exactly. The biggest drops, the biggest dips. This is perfection. I am gonna make it my screensaver. I love it so much. I do want to circle back to us not being consulted for what rides should be called. It affected me in a way that I was like, huh, that's when California Adventure
Oh yeah.
redid Pixar Pier. So it used to be like
Yeah.
California Screamin'. Blah, 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 blah. So they have a loop-de-loop roller coaster. It used to be called California Screamin' because the theme used to be California, but then they switched it to Pixar. So of all the Pixar films, they shoehorned in The Incredibles. So now it's called The Incredible Coaster. Inside Out was right in front of them. Don't call that the emotional roller coaster. Are you nuts? Are you nuts?
Yeah. Oh,
Disappointing.
what a
It's
nightmare.
disappointing.
What?
I know.
Renee, I have a question. So now I've got the amusement park bug. And
Yeah.
Gail, that person, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Do you all have a favorite amusement park that you like to go to, or one that like really sticks out to you from your childhood? Please shout it out into the comments. Alma, we want to hear. Stacy, do you ride rides? Curious. Derek, Robin, Elizabeth, Laurie, Michelle, London, do y'all ride roller coasters? What's your
Let
favorite
us
theme
know.
parks?
I'll
Let us
take
know.
favorite theme park. I'll take favorite ride in that theme park. I want to
Renee,
know both.
I
Yes,
have the
yes.
amusement park bug.
Here we
And
go.
if I were to find myself in Southern California,
Mhm.
I want to go to Magic Mountain. I think Magic Mountain is
Yes.
one of the best theme parks in the entire
It's
world.
so
Those
good.
roller coasters on top of roller coasters.
Yes.
It is so insane. And I was like, I want to go. I wonder if Renee would want to go with me.
Duh.
And maybe we can shoehorn in like a Universal Studios. I want to just like do like a little theme park time.
Absolutely. Are you kidding? Yes. 100 times yes. Of Magic Mountain, let me tell you the latest ones that they have. They have a roller coaster called Tatsu, where they put you on your belly to ride the ride.
Ooh.
But like all of your weight is just hanging, and you're just like, well, I hope it holds. You feel like a kitten being carried. Well, let's see if this works. Because when you're sitting up, you feel like, oh no, there's a seat, and that's solid. But
Right,
then
right.
they put you on your belly, so you'll ride Tatsu on your belly. There's one called Full Throttle where they do a loop, and then they send you back, and then they go up over the loop. So you know how like a
Oh
roller
my
coaster, like
God.
so you go up and over, amazing. And then obviously Goliath, who has
I mean,
is still a world record holder.
really? I mean, that Superman escape is no joke. Is that one still there? That Superman
still
escape.
there.
Superman escape shoots you like you're Superman flying up into the sky really,
Mhm.
really high, and then you fall back down. It is insane, but
It's the best.
incredibly thrilling. So good. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Get out
Stacey,
here.
we love your stuff. Your State Fair of Texas. Do you
Uh-huh.
have a favorite ride or experience? What do you like to do when you're at the State Fair?
I
We
bet
love it.
Texas does a state fair right.
Oh, I mean,
can
it's
only
gonna be
imagine.
big.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is time for happy birthday, celebrities. Happy birthday, celebrities. Happy birthday. Oh my gosh, there are so many birthdays. So many birthdays. We might not even get to all of these
Okay.
today.
Well,
We might
let's do our
save some
best.
of them for
Okay.
tomorrow because tomorrow's looking a little light.
Okay. Yeah. We can pick
All right,
and
let's
choose.
see what we got. So over this weekend, oh wait, what was? Oh yes, we're on the 19th. Oh yes, Bruce Willis. Let's go with I think Bruce Willis done had a birthday. He showed in on the 19th on Saturday. Can you name this is if you've never played Celebrity Birthday Quiz with us before,
Yes.
here's how it goes. I'm gonna say a question. and you all will work as a team with the other Get On Uppers to guess the right answer. Renee will help chime on in as well.
Love it.
So here we go for our first celebrity birthday. It is Bruce Willis's 67th birthday. Hi, Trenton Barnett. We were playing celebrity birthday quiz. It's Bruce Willis's 67th birthday. Known for many roles, known for many movie roles, including this highly debated Christmas movie. Everyone's like, this is a Christmas movie. Can we name that film? What is the name of the Bruce Willis highly debated Christmas movie?
All right, Get On Uppers, we got this. We know this. Of the Bruce Willis films that you love and know so much, which one? I feel like this can also be, what's the first movie you think of when you think of Bruce Willis? Though that's not true, because I would say Armageddon. So it's not true, which is probably, it's like, Armageddon. All right.
Yeah.
Get On Uppers, do we know Bruce Willis's Christmas movie? I'll you know what? I'm going to try. And if I get it wrong, it's on me and not you. Die Hard. Bruce Willis is in Die Hard. There was an article about him recently that Rocky Balboa was a little bit mad at him because he wanted Bruce Willis to be in, what was the movie that all of your old favorite 80s and 90s action stars? It was Indestructibles, Expendables. Yes. So he wanted him to be in Expendables, and according to Rocky Balboa, who is Sylvester Stallone, he was saying that Bruce Willis was just like, you got to pay me $1 million. And he's like, buddy, it's just a cameo. So he's a little bit mad that happened. And then the article went on to say that Bruce Willis sort of outpriced himself out of the industry. So now what he does is he works with a all B, maybe C list movies. He works for maybe 4 hours a day on one scene for the straight to DVD release. But then the negotiation is, we're going to pay you $1 million to do 4 hours of work. And then you have to be on the cover of the DVD. And he's like, that's fine. Sure. Great. Let's do it. Let's roll.
This explains so much about his career lately and those career choices.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he's been in 26 films in the last year, but they're all straight to DVD for 4 hours of work.
Which, that makes sense.
It's 67. Okay, man.
I think he's just trying to keep the lights on, just trying to pay that bill.
He's okay with his residuals. I bet he's but I had the biggest crush. Oh my goodness gracious.
On Bruce. Okay. All right. Well, it is his birthday. And we don't get Renee too hot and bothered here. Here we go. It is Glenn Close's 75th birthday. We love ourselves some Glenn Close.
Birthday, Glenn Close.
We love Glenn Close. Can you name Glenn Close is not above anything? I mean, well, I think she really enjoyed this experience. She has interesting comments about it. Can you name what live action Disney flick she played in?
You guys are being so nice to me today. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. It's very kind.
I had a hand, and I'm flying blind. I haven't adjusted any of these questions. So Sarah's usually the good cop. I'm
Sarah's
usually
being very kind to me.
Turn up the heat.
Let's get nuts. Let's get crazy about this. Get On Uppers. You know this. What live action Disney film was Glenn Close in? Not to be confused with the Villain sequel that came out. Does that come out in 2021?
Yeah, last year. Straight to Disney Plus.
So in the live action version, she was Cruella in 101 Dalmatians.
And
yes. Hold on. What yes. What was the follow-up question?
She was also in 102 Dalmatians.
And okay, thank you so much.
There was a sequel.
102 Dalmatians. Okay.
Glenn Close loves playing that role. I was hearing an interview about it. She loved it. She's also going to be, you're going to see her later in Guardians of the Galaxy. Everyone's getting involved in the MCU.
Everybody loves Glenn Close. Okay. She's
All right.
will she be playing? Do you know what she's playing? Is she playing a villain? She's really
Oh,
good
you'll
at it.
see her. No. She's not playing a villain. She's slight antagonist in some ways. She's a lot of fun. She's a lot of
Okay.
fun. Uh, I think she had a very interesting experience filming the film. But anyways, this past weekend on the 19th, it was Ruth Pointer's 76th birthday. Can you name the group that Ruth Pointer was in? The singing group that Ruth Pointer was in.
Oh. I'm gonna go off last name and say Pointer Sisters. Was Ruth Pointer in the Pointer Sisters?
She was!
Yay!
Ruth Pointer was in the Pointer Sisters.
Amazing.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Can you name what is the Pointer Sisters' biggest hit?
I always get this wrong, and this has come up before. I think that they did We're Family. We are family. Yeah, but I feel like that's wrong. Is that right?
Okay, so you want to lock that in? Okay.
Yeah, I want to lock it
I
in.
feel like this is our second time. The Pointer Sisters are very popular, and there's only 3 of them, so I guess we would like to double down. This is our second time on a Pointer Sisters question. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so
Who
excited.
did We're Family? What group did that?
Sister Sledge.
Because so it's a sister that my brain is locking onto.
Yeah. It's
Pointer Sister
Sledge. There's 4 of them.
Sledge. Okay.
Yeah, I get it. The
The
Pointer Sisters wish they had We Are Family.
Sure. But I'm so excited. It's a great song.
Yeah, it's good, but it's no We Are Family. I mean, We Are Family that gets. Oh, but you know what? The Pointer Sisters, my second favorite song is their number 5 song, as they did Jump for My Love. Jump for My Love.
Yeah, they have so many hits. That's great. If you were to just play those 2 songs, in no matter how bad a mood you were in, I feel like I can at least make you level up a little. Maybe not put you in a good mood, but it'll elevate you slightly. Excited and Jump for My Love. Come on, those are great level boosting songs.
Well, yep. Absolutely. That is so true. All right. Here's Spike Lee's 65th birthday. It is his 65th birthday. All right. Your question is, he's cast how many real life family members in films?
Well, now how would I know this? What is there? Is there any way to deduce to get on numbers? Do you want to take a guess? How many he seems generous and kind. 11. He's cast 11
we
family
for
members.
11. 5. Sarah, do we know who the family members are? If you can put that there in the chat, that would be a great way to. I would love to know. Was it his mom? Was it his brother? Was it his second cousin twice removed? Would love to know. I met Spike Lee once at a wine pairing event.
What was that?
It was so I went to a wine pairing event. It was 6 clips and 6 wine pairings. So it was like 6 clips from different works of Spike Lee's. I didn't realize directed the Michael Jackson They Didn't Really Care About Us music video. So he played like a bit of that. He played some powerful clips when there was different wine pairings. He came out and talked about each one. And then, so I'm the kind of person that like, I know there's always going to be a Q&A. And I will always be get on uppers. Your advice for today.
Yes.
If you are at a Q&A or you're at some sort of talk, and you know that you want to like talk to the person or say something, be the first person to raise your hand. It's the only time you will guarantee you'll get an opportunity. As it goes on, everyone and their mom's gonna be raising their hand.
Starts to build up the courage. Yeah.
No one wants to be that first person. They're scared. I'm already thinking the entire time, what is my question? As I'm watching, I'm thinking, what is the question that I have? And I'm already building it up. And so then by the time they're like, does anybody have any question? Boom, first one up.
Yes. Great.
And so I asked Spike Lee. It was shortly after the first like Black Lives Matter protests were happening. I was like, Spike, we, really, you need your voice and you're, out there. Do you have anything on the books that you're going to be working on? We really need your voice out there. And he's like, yeah, we've got some projects that we're working on. Thank you so much. And and then, me, I'm always gonna mention. Sorry, your show got canceled.
Oh, damn.
I did it. No, I did it. I did not. I did it. But instead, I did say, and just let you know, like, I am an actor. So if you're you're looking for anybody, and then he goes, I'm sorry, we're not actually having auditions right now. What's the next question?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that seems fair. That's one, good for you. You got to shoot your shot. Two, yes, this all seems, that was a great question. This all seems fantastic. I love it. I love it. I bet that he made a note, and when you do audition, he'll be like, I like that guy. He's got spunk.
I hope so. I did go to shake his hand. Stacey, you're leaving us. We appreciate you. Thank you for dropping in today on this Monday. Enjoy your lunch. Enjoy your lunch. Treat yourself. Tuesday is kicking off early. It's Monday. I'm gonna make it Monday. Make it happen.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're on to the birthdays of today. Today. It is Matthew Broderick's 60th birthday today.
Oh,
Matthew Broderick's 60th birthday. Here he is. We got him.
Looks like he's 12.
He does.
He's got that useful face.
He does. Always and forever. All right, Matthew Broderick, known for many films and Broadway shows.
Bless you. Gesundheit. Oh, buddy. Now, is that allergies?
I don't do well with sneezes. I don't handle sneezes well, which is why I try to hold them in, which is healthy for you. I don't recover well. It feels like I've been attacked.
Yeah.
Like violent atrocities happen to my body. Like not asked for.
It is a weird reaction to just a little something in your nose, because probably would fix it, but your body's just like, full throttle, let's get this out.
That's why I come back from a sneeze.
Sure, just recovering. Ouch. I'm sorry. Are you feeling okay? Was that allergies? What do we think that was?
Oh, it's probably allergies. You're right. I've been wondering where I've been sneezing.
Allergies
oh my God,
right
I forgot. Okay. Matthew Broderick was known for many films and Broadway shows. He's won 2 Tony Awards. For what shows?
Ooh.
Shows plural.
Brighton Beach Memoirs.
You got one.
Okay. And
what's the second one?
What else did you win a Tony for, sweet boy?
He is 60.
Right. I guess I don't. Oh, wait. Was it How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying?
Renee's crushing it today. I don't think you've missed a single one. I don't think you've missed a single one. That's exactly it. You did it.
Because you're doing Sarah's questions. When we do your questions, I never get them right. But when we do Sarah's questions, I can do it.
And that's when you're like, I quit the show. I'm off. I just turn it up a little bit. I look at these questions and I'm like, oh, everyone's gonna know this.
I respect that. I do think if you don't know your Broadway, I think those were hard questions.
Yeah, that is true.
What shows did Matthew Broderick star in? That's good. Okay. I didn't know that he won the Tony for How to Succeed. I'm glad he did.
Well, I think this one, you're going to get, you love this woman. It's Rosie O'Donnell's 60th birthday. O'Donnell's 60th birthday.
That's fun. Happy birthday, Rosie.
All right. Well, there's Rosie being like, you better put me back on The View. And I could not agree more. She had a guest spot recently on this queer TV show.
Yes. What? I can picture. How come I can't think of the name of it? Will you give me a hint of what the show is? I know it. So it recently got a reboot, right? So it was really popular.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're right there. It's about a certain subsect of the queer community.
Yep. The L Word.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Can we keep going? The reboot was then called
L Word Next Generation.
Close.
New
really
Infinity
close.
And Beyond.
Yep, we're gonna give it to you. L Word Generation Q. You were close.
Generation Q.
Next Generation. I love it.
She was great. I think Rosie's really expanding her little acting I think
Oh,
for a while Rosie was just Rosie in her characters, but she played like she was a little nervous and a little slithery in this role. I
yeah.
liked it.
Well, no,
Yeah.
she's also she was in a there was a limited series with
Mhm.
Mark Ruffalo, and she was in it. It was and he played twins. It's such a good series. Welcome to Aaron on the stream and Zach.
Aaron!
It was Mark Ruffalo, and oh, who else was in it? Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lewis was in it. It's like a 4-part series.
Okay.
Uh, it was so good. I highly recommend it. She was in it, and she played like nothing like weird or mean or anything like this. Oh, it's called I Know
Right.
This Much Is True. I Know
Okay.
This Much Is True. It's six episodes, and
And where do we find this?
it's on HBO Max. Mark
Okay.
Ruffalo plays twins, and one of them
Huh.
has like a mental disability. And the other one, their body types are different. So they had to shoot the entire series with Mark Ruffalo as one character, and
Right.
then I think he either gained the weight or lost the weight to play the other character, and they like had
Right.
to shoot it like 6 months apart. It's such a good series. It is so good.
That's
His
amazing.
performance is so phenomenal in it, and she's in
Ah,
it too. She's great.
great. Great. I love it. Well, happy birthday, Rosie.
Okay, last question for today. It is Saniqua Martin Green's 37th birthday.
Oh, okay.
She is known for, oh, Stacy laughed, but maybe there's some
Oh,
other Trekkies in the audience. She's known for
see.
playing this role in Star Trek Discovery. We were just talking about it last week, but we're looking for, and I know that Renee knows, if there's one thing that Renee knows, it's
It's her
character
Star
names.
Trek. Oh boy. Okay.
It's Star Trek and character names. So we're looking for
Yeah.
what is her character
Help,
name.
on uppers. Help me. I don't. I
There is
don't
a
know.
hint. Wait, but
Okay.
there is
We
actually
got a little
a
hint.
hint
Okay.
that just maybe. First of all, I think there's a hint that maybe just join the
Okay.
stream. At least her first name.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take a look. Michael Aaron, Zach Marty. Uh
That
oh
just
boy. Okay.
joined the stream.
Just so Michael? Is it
Okay. All right. Yes. All right.
okay?
So Michael
Great.
is the first name, and we'll go with it.
Okay.
Michael Burnham is her character name. Michael
Huh.
Burnham.
Cool. Okay.
And the first 3 seasons are pretty much her becoming the captain of the ship. So there it is. All right.
So cool. I
Mm,
honestly, I feel like because I love the Star Trek movies.
Oh,
But
you might
I
like this
need
series.
to
It's only 13 episodes, per
okay.
season. Season
All right.
4. If you got
I just want to
Paramount Plus,
see
I have Paramount Plus. I can give you my password and get on in there.
that is very generous. I'll swap you for Peacock. I just want to see that Stacey Abrams episode. I think that'd be fun.
Oh,
But I
yes.
bet I
I don't
can
ever
take
do that.
myself to YouTube for such a thing. But
You probably
point
could.
is,
But you
happy
can
birthday.
also get, yes, absolutely. Well, there it is. Happy birthday to all you celebrities. Enjoy the day on
You
us.
deserve it. Yeah, we gave it to you on us. There you go. From
All
our
right.
well-wishes to
Well,
yours. Yes.
we're going to keep this train on going. It's our Women's History moment. And
Pew,
today
pew,
we're going to be
pew.
talking about Alma Thomas. I had not heard of Alma Thomas until
Me neither.
Sarah put these notes up in front of my face and was like, here's Alma Thomas. Celebrate her. Alma Thomas. Do y'all know Alma Thomas? Cade, Michael, Aaron, Zach, Marty? Wow. You're going to have something to talk about today at the water cooler because you're going to be like, I just heard about Miss Alma Thomas.
Love
Alma
it.
Thomas was born in Columbus, Georgia, September 22nd, 1891. A long time ago.
Yeah.
You probably have seen her work. She's an artist, a painter, known for circular paintings with a lot of different colors. So that's kind of her jam. So during the 1960s, Alma Thomas emerged as an exuberant colorist, abstracting shapes and patterns from the trees and flowers around her. And her new palette and technique was considerably lighter and looser than in her earlier works. And so that's how she really came on to be in the 1960s. Her paintings were blowing up. Let's rewind the
Amazing.
clock a little bit. Let's rewind the clock. So she was the eldest of 4 daughters. Her father worked in a church. Her mother was a seamstress and a housemaker. And Thomas's family was really well respected in Columbus, where she grew up. And she and her sisters grew up in a very comfortable surroundings. So really allowing her to be in a space of like, okay, well, about to paint. And even as a child, she just was really taking in the beauty of life and the world. They lived on this very nice Victorian house on a hill overlooking the town. So she was inspired at a very early age. In 1907, she was 15 years old, and her father moved the family to Washington, D.C. She then went to Howard University, which is one of the HBCUs, historically Black College University. And in 1924, she became the first graduate of its newly formed art department. So the first of the class. So she's leading the charge there. And then, her teacher and mentor, James V. Herring, granted her use of his private art library,
Well,
from which she was able
wow.
to gain a background in art history. So he was like, okay, girl, you got all this talent. Now what you gonna do?
What
He's
are we
like, you
gonna
gotta
do
go
with it?
use this
Yeah.
studio. And she's like, oh, I got you. I put a paint, paint, paint. Pow, 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 pow. And then she just does the lights and she's got paint all over her hands because she
I
just finished
love
painting.
it. I love it. I
So
love
then,
it.
and here's some of her painting. Here's some of her work. You've seen this before. You've seen these works, and you just didn't know that it was her. It was Alma. A decade later, she earned a Master of Arts degree in education from Columbia University. So that's amazing. So she went to Howard, and she was like, "That's not enough." And then she went to Columbia, and she's like, "Okay, that's right. See this? See these colors? Pow!" During the 1950s, that's how she always ended her paintings. She would say, "Pow!" During the 1950s, she attended art classes at American University in Washington. She was studying painting with Robert Gates, Joe Sumford, Jacob Kanan, and she developed an interest in abstract art. She's like, okay, I'm going to turn this up a notch. We got to get abstract with this, okay? You're not going to be too literal. It's the 50s. I need to escape with my art. And her teaching career, she painted an exhibition academic. She was doing still lifes and realistic paintings and groups that show. She was like, okay, we got to show off these other Black artists. And they're like, we love it. And then her paintings, well, they were never really signaled out for individual recognition because is the 50s.
Right.
But like I said, in the
Yeah.
60s, she was emerging as this revolutionary, exuberant colorist. She was doing all this abstract stuff, and people were like, okay, we like what you were doing over here. And as a Black woman artist, she encountered, this will not surprise you, many barriers. She did not, however, turn to racial or feminist issues in her art. She was like, you know what? That's not my lane. I just want to do my
No.
paintings. But
Yeah.
sometimes, like, the most radical thing you can do is to just be a Black woman and wake up and do your painting. That is protest. That is radical enough to go and
Yep.
live your truth. So she was doing it. In Washington, D.C., that's where she was living and worked after 1921. She became identified with Morris Lewis, Gene Davis, and Culver Field painters activists in the area. So from 1921 to 1950s, that's who she was like collaborating with. And they were just exploring colors and doing all these different things. And then in 1960, she began to start painting seriously, and she retired from 38-year career as an art teacher in the public schools of Washington, D.C. And in the years that followed, she would become regarded as a major painter of the Washington Color Field School.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay, and then the last thing is, in the 1960s, her works would as you can see, they'd reference different rows and borders of flowers. They were inspired by Washington's famed azaleas and cherry blossoms. And then the tiles of her paintings often reflect that influence. And then her canvases get these brilliant shades of green and pale and deep blue, violet, deep red. Like, she's using all these different colors, kind of like jewel-like Byzantine mosaics that you might see. She never got married, was not about that life. She was like, I don't need this. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm Alma Thomas. I'm a painter. Ain't no man can handle all this. And she lived in the same house that her father bought in downtown Washington in 1907. And the final years of her life brought awards and recognition. So she finally was getting recognized for all of her amazing work. And then 1927, she was honored with a one-woman exhibition at the Whitney Museum of American Art and at the Coran Gallery of Art. That same year, one of her paintings, it was selected for the permanent collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. I think I've
That.
seen this.
Yeah.
Yes, I've
Look
seen
at
this.
that.
Okay. Yeah. I have seen this. I went
Yeah.
there. It's a really beautiful museum. And before her
Amazing.
death in 1978, Thomas had achieved national recognition as a major woman artist devoted to abstract painting. So she lived a long life from 1891 to 1978. And today we celebrate you, Alma Thomas.
Alma Thomas. Look, it's so talented and overcoming so much adversity. Yeah, what a theme. What a theme that we're having. But that is truly stunning.
Yeah, just her being
Artwork's a
herself. Get uppers. Have
yeah.
Did any of her work look familiar? Do you feel like you've seen any of the?
Mhm.
Was it like, oh yeah, I've seen. And
Of
you're like, oh,
course.
I just didn't know it was her.
Right. Right. As is often the case when these things happen. I also find art. So, I mean, this can go for like any sort of facet of artistry, but the the level of appreciation increases so much because you look at that and right now it's just like, oh, okay, so it's like a mosaic, like a colorful mosaic. All right. And then you try to do it yourself and you're like, oh, you're very talented. You are very talented. This is incredibly hard to do. Mosaics are hard. Have you ever tried?
No. I have a painting that I did once. It's hanging up on my. I've showed
Okay.
you all my painting, didn't I? I
Sure.
have. I've shown it to you.
Yes, but show us again. Is it easily accessible? Well, excuse me, what? Time for a
Oh,
little,
of
show and tell.
course. I will be right back, and Renee can set
Okay.
up what's gonna happen,
Yes,
how they can
please.
keep getting involved in the show.
I would love nothing more. My sweet, sweet get on uppers. One, thank you for being here. Happy Monday to you all. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. So there's plenty of show where that came from. But first and foremost, we want to welcome you to Backchannel. Here's the way that you interact. You just say to your device that you're currently listening on, say, I did have a good weekend. Thank you for asking, Renee. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can just type it right on into the comments. Okay, all right, we're ready. Here we go. Ready for the debut of your painting. Here we are. Hold on. And I'm going to get out of here so we get the full view. Would you? I feel like I haven't seen this. Are you sure you've shown this before? No, let me tell you the things that I am particularly impressed with. The shadow of that tree and the lake. Absolutely stunning, Jam. Now, we all have so many follow-up questions. It is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. What is the name of this painting? Would you like to tell us? Yes. Yes.
He can't break my heart no more. I moved on. Look at these cherry blossoms. You don't deserve me.
What is that piece going for? I would like to make a bid. That is based off title alone. I am sold. Yes. Mhm.
$5.
$5. I've got $5. That is stunning.
So this
Was
was part
that
of
created by
my
a wine and
Stella's.
design,
That
like
was
a
a wine.
painting?
It was a wine and paint class, a wine
Mhm.
and sip. I didn't realize I was the only person who didn't know. I just went there to, anyways.
Sure.
Like there was like a bachelorette party, boozing it
Of
up.
course. Always. Yes.
I'll tell you, this does not. I will not even show you what the original looked like because it does not. And the guy was this guy who didn't. It was like the day after Thanksgiving. He didn't want to be
Okay.
there, and
Of
he's so
course.
talented. He was like, "Yeah, you just do this." Boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. You're doing great.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. And his looks
Yeah.
so
Of
good.
course
I
it
took a
did.
photo.
Of
It's
course it did.
so
Yeah.
good. It's so good.
What was
Um,
yours?
Oh yeah. But anyway, so this was after like my breakup in 2019, and
Sure.
I did the artist way, and in the artist way, you do these artist dates. So you take a
Yeah.
date for yourself every week,
Of
and it
course.
really felt like a new divorcee. I did a rock climbing class, I did a painting class. Like I was just
Uh-huh.
doing all these like
Yeah.
I'm rediscovering myself.
Maybe I'm a rock climbing painter. I don't know. Let's find out.
Yes.
Love this. Well, that painting is gorgeous. Those wine and design classes are absolutely ridiculous and phenomenally overpriced, and
Oh,
always leave you with just like, well,
100%.
what am I going to do with this piece of? So-
Do you have your
but
painting? And Aaron, thank you so much for the compliment. Aaron said, James, that's so pretty. Thank you.
thank
Thank
you. And
you.
Aaron is correct. Aaron's always right. I don't know. They immediately. I don't think one even ever made it to the car. I walk out and find the dump. Put that
No
in. Make a little
way.
contribution.
Oh,
Make a little
Renee, you're too hard
contribution.
on
Yeah.
yourself. I'm sure it
Uh,
was good.
There's certainly none. I don't have hand-eye coordination at all, and it has served me poorly in both sports, in playing music, and painting. I just can't. I can't see that. I can handle auditory stuff, but I can't
Oh,
do
that's so
visual stuff.
interesting. Because you
I
played softball.
No, well,
That's
but the
fair.
painting is beautiful, and I think the
Mm.
best way to appreciate somebody's art is to try to do it yourself. And you'd be like, "Oh, gosh, that's tricky. That's real tricky." Though yours is beautiful, and you
Well,
killed it.
thank you. Thank you. Well, I appreciate it. Well, we're halfway through the show, and it is time to get into Monocle Monday. We're going to take a closer
Yes.
look at some of the news. Renee, would you like to
Yes.
get us started?
Yes. Now, I might be getting myself in trouble because we made a pact. We made a promise to not do news that was a gift to each other because sometimes that has overlapping segments. We're like, well, I'm also covering the story because this is my thing. This is what I love. But
Also, I do
as
want to
a
point out that was only a
yes,
promise that you made, and I was like, I
this is
don't.
true.
You should
I
always give me
don't
a
know.
gift. I
I will
don't
not give me a
care.
gift. I give me my present. Give me my present.
Uh-huh.
So it is not confirmed that this is happening, but the conversation has started. What if Buffy the Vampire Slayer were to be rebooted? What if it were to come back? Now, again, we don't know. We don't know for sure if it's happening or not. But a one Sarah Michelle Gellar has weighed in that she knows who she wants her successor to be. This is in the news.
Oh.
It's a public statement. There will be no mystery. It will pop up
Mm,
immediately. I will not be asking
mhm.
the question. I will simply be telling you that it is Zendaya. Zendaya is who she would love. And I think it'd be incredible, right?
Oh man, yeah.
How would you
Zendaya
feel
would be
about
the
such a
best.
thing?
And it's
Yeah.
so interesting because they've been talking about rebooting Buffy for years.
Yeah.
And one of the last things that they had left off, and this is like a few years ago, they're like, Buffy's coming back and it's gonna be black. They're gonna have a black, vampire slayer or Buffy.
Right.
And then Sam Michelle Gellar, she's always been on board. She's not holding it to her chest of like, no, all right, yeah, absolutely. Like redo it. That's fine.
That's great. Yeah.
Unlike some of the Charmed ladies are like, we weren't consulted and which is unfortunate because the new Charmed is like 3 Latinas. It's like that's a reboot with like 3 Latinas, and I don't know. They're kind of holding it close to their chest. This is great, and I think Zendaya is the perfect. Like everyone loves her. She would be great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be so curious. Are you talking about doing a movie or a TV show? She would not have time to do a TV show.
She certainly doesn't have time to do a TV show. No, she's way too busy. But yeah, the movie would be incredible. I think they were talking reboot, and this happened. Do you know Evan Russ Katz?
No.
He's like a reporter, a journalist. I think he's got a podcast. Very successful, very smart. So Sarah Michelle Gellar was on the podcast, and it was there where she revealed, "I vote Zendaya," and I think that it would be amazing. But to that they just said reboot. So this might all be fictional. It may not be coming back, but I feel like the fans would flock to such a thing. And then obviously Sarah Michelle Gellar needs to have a cameo of some sort.
Oh, she should be the Watcher. She should be Buffy always has a Watcher. She should be like the Watcher. I think that would be absolutely cool. I'm waiting and so hungry for Sarah Michelle Gellar's like big comeback. She's such a talented actress. She was the youngest actress to ever win an Emmy. She was playing daytime Emmy. She was playing Erica Kane's daughter on All My Children. She won an Emmy before Susan Lucci won an Emmy.
Yes.
And she's just, everyone loves her. She's just so great. But you know what? She's been really focused on motherhood, really focusing on just being a mom. And the last she did 2 shows that she tried to get going. She was on Robin Williams' last show before he committed suicide. So I think that had a big impact. And then she had a show called The Ringer, which did not go for more than 1 season, but it was very like soapy, plot twisty. She played
Love it.
twins. Like one of the twins had faked her death and framed the other one. It was great.
That's
It was very
incredible.
good. Yeah, it
But
was
yeah,
good.
I love that. And kudos to Sarah. I put nothing in the document. So Sarah is just finding these photos on her own. Kudos to our producer, Sarah, who is just making these segments work for me. But I like this. I thought that it was exciting and it was my little present to you. Well, it also ends in a question. Would you want a reboot? Would you watch a reboot? Or do
Yeah,
you, it's
100%.
precious as is? Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm not one of those. I'm like, keep
Okay.
it, give me more, give me that
Yeah.
story. I think all stories should be redone and reboot within time. I think
Right.
sometimes they happen a little bit too fast and too soon, but we're talking like Buffy like ended in 2003, 20
Mhm.
years ago. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
redo it. You know, my
exactly.
mom wasn't so precious with Charlie's Angels, and they rebooted that after 20 years of the 70s, and the new one came out in the 90s. It's like, yeah, absolutely,
It was great, and it was
redo
fun
it.
to watch. And I think all of this came up because so it ended 20 years ago, but I think it debuted 25 years ago. So
Yes.
Sarah
Mhm.
recently did a little Instagram post being like, "Oh my gosh, 25 years ago, we introduced Buffy to you all, and you've all been so sweet ever since."
People like
That's
still love it. The
I
fandom for
know,
Buffy is still so huge, even though
I
Joss
know.
Whedon is a monster, a real life
Truly a monster. Yeah.
vampire, a true
So
monster.
we'd
He
have
was
to.
hiding in plain sight, writing the story about monsters when he was the real monster all
Well,
along.
that's why you can write them so well because you know them. But I would love to see, yeah, like a female maybe take over the writing and the creating part.
Yeah,
Who would
yeah,
you
yeah.
want to play Buffy if it did
No,
get a
this
reboot?
works. Or I
You
think
like
like this
Zendaya?
even the
Okay.
actor there's probably an actress I don't even know. I would like
Yeah.
her to be a young lady of color for
Sure.
sure.
Of course.
I think that would be great. And yeah, I think there's a lot of great, I actually think there's a lot of great female writers on the team that I think help Joss Whedon n- steer clear of being a total jerk guy in the writers room. Marty Noxon, Gene Espenson, I think they really help steer the show into the right direction. So
Amazing.
get on uppers. Do we have any Buffy fans? Or would we be interested in seeing a Buffy reboot? What do we feel about Zendaya playing this role if she has the time? I mean, she could do it if it was probably like HBO Max 10 episodes a year or something,
Right.
Other than that, just busy. High
I
budget.
love it.
You gotta afford it.
Yeah.
I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
It's no,
She
this will
comes
cost a lot, but you will reap that immediately. I feel like the fans will be like, "No, no, no, we'll pay you back. Don't worry. Don't
And
worry."
it's so interesting because I would love to see Zendaya getting into some action. Her Disney Channel show when she really debuted, I think it was a show called Casey Undercover.
Okay.
Again, this is so wild because like I am like a sponge when it comes to like pop culture and things like
Sure.
this. Never have I seen like really an episode. It's like I've seen the title, I put two and two together, but I just believe her show
You
is
know
called
it.
Casey Undercover,
Casey Undercover.
and
I'll do some
she's
research for you.
like an FBI, like a kid,
Yep.
like FBI sort of agent person. And so I think
Exactly.
maybe seen like a
Um,
clip, and she was like kicking. So she's not a stranger to action,
yeah.
and she had to
That's it.
balance her life of being like a spy and go to school.
And go to school. Exactly. Disney still with their thumb on the pulse of who's the next star. Now, again, Disney, you were still in timeout. You were still in big trouble with me.
Well,
But
speaking
yes,
of, I have a story
yes.
about
Tell me
Disney.
more.
I literally, I'm just going off of wherever the conversation leads us. I have some things and I'm pulling out of my monocle top hat.
I want
So
to hear.
we're gonna go to so there's a new movie coming out called Lightyear. It's a Buzz Lightyear film. I think we have
Okay.
a picture of this very dashing Buzz Lightyear that would be voiced by one of our Chris's, Chris Evans.
Okay.
So following the LGBTQ employees and allies at Pixar Animation, they sent out a statement claiming that Disney executives had actively censored overtly gay affection in its films. So, and like then, so this isn't looking cute after what they were, had helping to essentially support this "Don't Say
Mhm.
Gay" bill in Florida, because if you're giving money to these politicians, you help supporting what it is that they're doing. And so
Right.
Lightyear's same-sex kiss is getting restored after being removed.
Huh.
According to a report from Variety, Pixar's next feature film is set to star Hawthorne, who's played by Uzu Aduba from. She played Crazy Eyes and Orange is the New Black. And she's a female astronaut who's in a relationship with another woman. And the report notes that while the relationship was always set to be featured in the film, a kiss between the two was initially cut. But however, after the backlash following Disney CEO Bob Chapek's financial support of the sponsors behind Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, and you know, that weak response after that, it seems the scene is actually going to be restored. So, and then he apologized, admitting that he has let the community down and announced a pause on political donations in order to create a new framework for its political giving that will ensure Disney's advocacy better reflects its values. So I love that. I'm okay with that. I love a pause. Create a framework. I do that. If you have a framework, it helps you as a guiding North Star. You can then say what it is you're giving to you. And I think that this happened for a reason then. So then I think that they won't find themselves in this situation that you got to vet your candidates you're going to be supporting, because it speaks a lot if you're giving money to these folks.
Look at that. Wow. That's so interesting. That whole story is so interesting. Gosh, you want to be like, okay, great. But also you're still in timeout. Great. That's good. I'm glad you're writing apology notes while you're up there, but don't come down. You were in your room. You stay in your room.
You stay in the room. You stay in there. You do not come down here.
How do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
Good. I mean, I feel like this is online with, one of the more recent Marvel movies had like one of the heroes. He was married to a man and they had a kid and they had, the kiss. And I thought that the movie was going to be more so like, similar to like Beauty and the Beast. And they're like, LeFew's gay dancing with a man over there. See? Oh, blink and you miss it. Like I thought, or even in Cruella, they had like a fashion designer who like, had, like obviously even Tugboat agrees. But so I'm glad. I'm glad that they are doing this. I'm on board. I'm on board with what it is they're doing.
Okay. All right. Well, so long as you're on board, then I'm on board. I like it. Still in your room. You still need to think about what you did, but
they are. They're going to go. They're writing out a framework. They've got homework. They're going to figure it out.
Good. Okay. I can work with all that. I can work with all of that. In other monocle news, I'm going to call this one Too Little Too Late, but yay.
Okay.
Too little too late, but yay. So, an all-Black women's World War II unit will be awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. Great. Too little too late, but yay. So CNN is reporting that an all-Black women's Army Corps unit that sorted millions of pieces of mail in unheated warehouses during World War II will finally be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor after decades since they did such a thing. Joe Biden will sign the bill into law on March 14th. So this is an old story. Happened a few weeks ago. I think this is good, but I think it is a constant conversation of gay, who among this battalion is left to see this. I like that we have set a path forth that they will be acknowledged, but I'm curious how you feel about, yes, let's do that, but then also I need to see all the awards go to the right people now, because we're still messing that part up. But what do you think about these retroactive awards?
Yeah, good question. I also like Get On Uppers. What do we think? Are better late than never, or at least they should have been done it? I mean, I guess they should have been done it. What do we think, Get On Uppers? I think better late than never. I think it would have been nice for it to happen, but that's just how the world was working then. And so I guess like it's better that they're being recognized now. Again, to your point, how many of them are still alive to receive this honor? But I guess it would their families. Hopefully it will then go to their families and give their families a little bit of clout. Could they get some other sort of recognition in some other ways? Like, how else can this also help to, support their families? Because there's a lot of things that, Black people were not able to participate in. So things like the New Deal or the
Right.
GI Bill were actually not for the, lower caste of Black folks were not able to participate in that. So what are some other things that maybe their families were not able to partake in that we can maybe give? Essentially, what
Yeah.
I'm saying is a form of reparations. This would be an example of a form of reparations and creating some sort of lane or framework for them to get some sort of financial reward because
Right.
they probably weren't able to reap any of the benefits that other families were able to.
Yeah, and it's also curious of just like, why now? Why is this happening? And I would like to answer that question with the
Oh,
information. Well, it's a theory. It's a theory that I
okay,
have.
yeah.
So in 2018, forgive me, a documentary came out called The 6888, which was the number of their battalion. No mail,
Mm,
low morale, which was their like motivation. So they're sorting all of this mail in like truly inhumane conditions.
yeah,
But if soldiers didn't get their mail, then that would make the morale low. But there
yeah.
was a documentary that featured them and the amount of work that they did and the conditions with which they faced. So that came out in 2018. They're getting an award 4 years later. I think there is good in this and that when you're making a documentary, you're like, why? The action is taken after you make your documentary, but also why do we have to make a documentary for action to be taken? Is
Mhm.
a curious double-sided thing.
Well, I mean, unless there's a documentary, it's really until a documentary gets made do people really start paying attention to it.
Yes.
I mean, case in point, like it wasn't until a documentary came out about Britney Spears that she got
Right.
free. That was really
Yep.
the thing.
Yep.
And speaking of to take the baton there, speaking of Britney,
Please.
Sarah, this was breaking news. Sarah just reported in that Britney Spears is reportedly working on some new music. This
Okay.
is, I mean, somewhat. This is, I think, maybe a little clickbaity of an article. She's
Okay.
been talking about this for a bit that she was going to come back and make some music.
Sure.
It's really early days. She's not putting any pressure on herself, but her team, they're putting out some feelers to see about if she wants to do some new music. I guess several people that they've reached out to are like, yeah, I'd like to work with her. And so, she's been through an incredibly tough few years, and we'll see what this will happen. Apparently, this also includes Claude Kelly, who worked with her in 2008 on Circus,
Okay.
helped produce
Mm.
Womanizer, and Circus is the tour that Renee saw. So
Sure
there's
did.
that.
Sure
Uh,
did.
this producer also has worked with Jessie J, Miley Cyrus, Jason Derulo. I would love to see Britney work with like Doja Cat. Doja Cat is producing some pretty amazing music, so I would
Yeah.
love to see that. This article notes that she's previously refused to work on new material while under the conservatorship of her father Jamie, which is why she's not put out a new album since 2016's oh my gosh, what Glory was the last album that she'd put out back in 2016.
Okay.
So she was like, no new music until dad is gone.
Yeah.
And that should be like
And
the
makes
new
sense.
song. Yeah. And she
I
did
would
actually even say back in December, she said that she was new music was in the works. So it looks like things are moving
That's
forward,
great.
putting
Yeah.
down the groundwork.
Okay. I love that. I think I want her to do whatever she wants to do, including but not limited to go to a farm and never, ever give us anything else again. That's okay. You
Yeah.
deserve
I'm
whatever you want.
100%. That's why I again, as a huge Britney fan,
Mhm.
I'm also okay with her just taking a break, I think I would eventually, when she's ready to come forward and I think tell her story, just because as a fan, but
Right.
she's been through such trauma, and you can like see it,
Mhm.
and you can still see it on the Insta.
Mhm.
I think I have to like unfollow her. It's just too hard for me to see like
Yeah.
obviously it wasn't going to be like a light switch that she was going to be freed from this conservatorship and everything
Sure.
else.
She's
Like
like, "And I
now
came
it's
out
like,
healthy
do
and
you
normal."
remember
Yeah.
when you were free from if you went to college, you were
Right.
wilding out for those years. And so Are we?
Yeah.
Yes. So I feel like, and I don't need to witness anybody, someone I love so much wilding out. Like, I think
Sure.
I would maybe even delete the Instagram for a moment, Brittany, and just like go to an island, go be with your hot fiance, be with your
Great.
kids. You owe us nothing. But I would be interested to see now if her music actually, like, her music that she's done in the last few years, she hasn't really gone to any like deep places,
Mhm.
but I don't think she was allowed to go to any deep places. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if
Yeah.
now I feel like the music would have a little bit more weight behind it.
True. So we exploited absolutely everything she did try to go deep about. So I also would be like, great, here's the surface. Then you just get the
Mm,
surface. I'm not going to go deep
yeah,
anymore.
no, that's true. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I have not watched her Instagram. It's just a lot of not a lot of clothing on there. We're not wearing a lot of clothes. Is that what's happening? I appreciate it. And I also think like you were told for so many years that this is the
Uh,
only thing we like about you. So I would understand that maybe it's going to take a second to unlock
right.
that.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
Okay.
absolutely. I agree.
Okay.
I just love it. Renee is such a wholesome lady. She's like,
Oh,
you're like,
maybe he's not
where's
bundled up the way.
You're like, where's Mandy? Where's my Mandy Moore? Okay, nice and wholesome and sweet, singing about candy, wearing an Eskimo jacket, like, covered from head to toe.
Yeah. Exactly. No, see, Brittany knows something I don't know. Wholesome doesn't sell unless you're Mandy Moore. If you're Mandy Moore, you can make it work.
I love it. All right, I think we should switch on over to
Yes.
Marvel Movie
Marvel Movie
Monday.
Monday.
Dun 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 dun.
Shoo. Pages. Marvel. Is that accurate?
Nailed it.
Ish? Okay,
You
thank you.
nailed it. I love it. All right. So this past weekend, so today's Marvel Movie Monday. If you don't know what we're doing every Monday, so Renee has agreed to watch every Marvel film. And I was like,
Mhm.
great, we're gonna do it in chronological order. So we have done Captain America, the first one. We even did the Peggy Carter one shoot. We
Yeah.
did Captain Marvel. We've done Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. We're breaking away from the Iron Mans
Yes,
and
quick Iron
over
Man break.
into the
Well,
Incredible Hulk 2. No, the Incredible Hulk,
yeah,
which stars Edward Norton, who will be the only time you will see him as
yeah.
the Hulk. This is interesting too, a little fun peek behind the curtain. Renee set us up so well that like Marvel had sold the rights to a lot of their films. The Hulk was one of them. So one of the reasons you will never see a standalone Hulk Marvel film is because I don't know if you notice in the opening,
Mhm.
what studio did you see? Also, Universal. So Universal actually
Yes.
owns the
Yeah.
rights to the Incredible Hulk, but they have similar to Spider-Man a deal where Marvel can use the Hulk, but he can't star in a solo movie without their involvement.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
but this is still
Hmm.
part of the MCU. So
Okay.
it is good that you watch this because there are going to be some nuggets of this that are going to be popping up later on, and even beyond. Get on uppers. Curious, has anybody seen Edward Norton's The Incredible Hulk? Has anybody seen it?
And anybody, I did. I watched.
Renee, yes. Before we get Renee's
Yes.
reactions, let me just set this film up. So we got Edward Norton. Edward Norton was very involved. He was a passion project for Edward Norton. He
Yeah.
helped write the script,
He
but
seemed like he
also
really liked it.
he was loving it. But I think
Yeah.
like he was holding it so close to his chest. And Marvel is a big sandbox. Y'all got to play, and
Sure.
I think there was some ego involved, so he just is not
Okay.
going to make it
I
to
did find
Avengers.
myself being like, how come Mark Ruffalo took over? I feel like this is a sad story for Eric
Yeah,
Norton,
and
Edward.
I will say
Yeah.
Edward Norton does fit the physical type of
Mhm.
the Hulk so well because Bruce Banner, it's supposed to be like he's this skinny, scrawny little scientist guy.
Right.
And Edward Norton just feel like hits it so
Perfect.
well.
Yeah.
But Mark Ruffalo's got the funny, and he's able to bring in the funny, which we love. We love the funny.
We
We
love.
love the funny.
Love.
So this movie shows it almost dropped. It's almost like a sequel of another movie you've never really seen before, but they assume you don't need an origin story for everything. The Hulk, you get it. Gamma rays, he turns green and when he gets mean. And so this movie pretty much sets the opening credit sequence, really just catches you up. I thought that was really cute. Catches you up.
That
He's
was
on the
nice. I
he's
appreciated
got
that.
the
Yes.
gamma ray in his body. Essentially they were trying to what they were trying to do is recreate the super soldier serum. Thunderbolt Ross, General Thunderbolt Ross was trying to recreate the super soldier serum, which is what Captain America gave Captain America his powers. The gamma ray gets used on Bruce Banner. He becomes the Hulk, and then he's on the run. So that's pretty much the movie. It's him on the run. His girlfriend Betty Ross, whose dad is General Thunderbolt Ross. Betty Ross, played by Liv Tyler. And he's on the run, and he's trying to get a cure, and then it drives him back home to Betty to try to get a cure. It's kind of the main plot of it.
Perfect. Okay. Yes, this all seems like everything I watched. Yes.
All right, Renee,
Yes.
give us your breakdown.
You just answered a lot of questions for me. I found myself a little confused. A little. Well, this is a question, and it might hurt my feelings in your answer, and that would be okay. I felt that this one was relying on me knowing the Hulk story, having read the comic books, knowing exactly what was happening. So as somebody who is not familiar with such a thing, I found myself a little like, what's happening?
Yep.
So a little confused, but it is as you start to familiarize yourself with the Marvel universe, you know your Stan Lee immediately. You're like, don't drink that soda. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Yes.
And I miss the funny. I loved seeing Phil Dunphy. I can't see poor Liv Tyler, bless her heart. I cannot see her in anything other than her Armageddon character. So I was like, listen,
and you know what?
Her dad died in an asteroid event. It's fine.
Maybe that's what happens with Liv Tyler. You see her at one role and you can't see her at anything else. I can't not see her. I just saw her Lord of the Rings character throughout the entire movie, Arwen. Right. She's in the one, and she just has this way of like she whispers all of her lines, but with passion.
Of course.
Bruce, we have to go get the thing over there. But Bruce, like it's a passionate whisper, and it's so great. Poor Liv Tyler, you will not see her in a single other Marvel movie, not even reference. You know, it's really messed up. Thunderbolt Ross comes back a lot throughout the Marvel universe, and Liv doesn't. Okay. So it's a little weird, a little bit of sexism. I have some questions to get on a audience. So even if you've not seen the movie, and this movie deals with anger. Question: how do you deal with your anger? How do you, when you get angry, what happens to you? Because the Hulk, when Bruce Banner gets angry, he turns into the Hulk. So my question for you all is like, what happens when you get angry? Like, how do you respond? And do you have any techniques to handle or deal with your anger? Renee, do you have anything that comes to mind that you want to share? What happens when you get angry?
It is one history that for me, I'm also I think I can be a little compulsive. So if I get an immediate, we're taking action now, I know that it's wrong. So anytime I'm just like, no, I'm fixing this immediately. That's an indication of, take a beat. So I am real big on my walks around the block. I am real big on a journal. I'm real big on a cry, because a lot of times anger is sadness. Where ultimately you're just like, oh, ow. So I'll try to access that. Gosh, okay, when was the last time I like really flew off the handle? And then sometimes I think it's okay to like fly off the handle. Tina Fey has a quote in her book where she is talking about the power of crying, and she's like, sometimes it scares people in a really useful way. So I think you got to be careful to not hurt anybody, but I think it's okay to show your emotions. What do you do when you get mad? So I try to simmer to make sure I'm addressing the actual thing I'm mad about, and then once I apply those techniques, then I'll let loose. How about you? What do you do when you get mad?
Yeah, I talk to myself out loud a lot. I talk to myself out loud a lot when I'm angry.
Mhm.
I will yell, and even if I'm
Good.
just like angry at the TV, I will talk it
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
We'll talk it out. Um, I can be an angry. I will cry sometimes. Like if I'm just so angry or
Yep.
frustrated, I absolutely
It's
will.
healthy.
In my own privacy of it.
Yep. Oh,
And
never
if
in
I
front of
get like,
anyone. Never. Yeah. Do not cry in front of people, which is a
uh,
flaw. Yes.
oh, okay. Well, Renee,
Okay.
I hope I will obviously cry in front of you at some point,
Okay.
and I look forward to you opening up your cold
Yeah.
heart, your
Cold heart.
cold dead heart, crying in front of me. Let me in, Renee. Let me in. Now it's good.
Yeah.
I yeah, I will I I'm a talker. I got to talk out my anger. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
like that. Like, there's a thing like, so part of Bruce Banner's journey is to try to first of all, he thinks that he's trying to get rid of. There is no cure for the Hulk. The Hulk is like
Right.
part of him now, and
Yeah.
it's a gift, and so he has to realize it's not something to get rid of, but how does he just work through it?
Mhm.
And also too, that was interesting. He's trying to meditate to like not get angry,
Yeah.
and his meditation teacher is one quick throwaway line. He had said that it's actually your fear, and so it's actually more so your anger is
Mhm.
actually derived more so from your
Mhm.
fears than
Yeah.
anything. So if there's something that's happening that's causing him to be angry, he's probably afraid of
Scared.
what might happen, and he's
Yeah.
actually just getting scared.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
So there's some nuggets here that I want to highlight for you if I can get super MCU nerdy for you of things that you
Please.
should
I would love
keep
nothing
track of.
more.
So
Yes.
General Thunderbolt Ross, you're gonna want to keep track of him. He's always working with the government. He's always after the Hulk or trying to wrangle in superheroes. You got the origin story of Emil Blonsky, who was the antagonist, who got injected with a similar sort of serum, made him super fast. And if you notice, and then in the end, he transforms into this other thing because he just gets
Right.
too much of the juice. And the scientist who was seeing him transform said, "You're becoming an abomination." Do you want to guess what his character's name is in the comics?
The Abominator?
Abomination, actually. He
Abomination.
just
Okay,
flat out said it.
okay.
He's the
Okay, just
Abomination.
okay.
Yeah. So, and you actually will be seeing him come back. He's going to be in She-Hulk, the Abomination.
Okay.
Emil Blonsky is going to be
Okay.
in She-Hulk, and he has a
Great.
surprise cameo in another MCU film that I'm not gonna tell you which one, but you just keep your eye out, and I'll say, Renee,
That's the
did you see?
one.
Do you know who that
Okay.
was? Let me that. There was a funny part. Here's what I found that was the
Yes.
funny part in this film.
Let's hear it.
And I was like, wait, I hope Renee's enjoying this part. They go to New York. Because they have to go visit the scientist that's gonna help both Bruce Banner and Betty. They're Betty Ross. They're reunited, and they're
Right.
gonna help Bruce go to the scientist that's gonna help cure him.
Right.
And they land in New York. They're like undercover, and this is the thing that also happens in Marvel movies where superheroes will always just put on a hat. So he puts on a hat, and they're always like, "I'm undercover," and no one will.
Unrecognizable. Yeah.
It is a running theme and gag that you will see in Marvel movies all
Hilarious.
the time.
Great.
Put on a hat, and he Bruce has had a
Great.
hat.
Nobody knows. Exactly.
And so they're like, okay, they're like, oh, should we take the subway? And remember, if he gets too angry or frustrated, he'll Hulk out. And
Yeah.
she's like, should we take the subway? And he goes, you mean being miles underground in the most aggressive city in the world? And then she goes, you're
Yeah.
right. Let's take a cab. And then they cut to the cab, and the cab is even worse. The cab driver is driving all over.
Okay, yeah.
And
Yes.
then when they get out, Liv Tyler's Betty Ross is just like yelling at him, I can't believe you. What are you doing? So she's hulking out. And I thought that was just a really funny moment. So I
Yeah.
thought Liv Tyler had some of the funniest
Some
parts.
good lines, some good moments. Yes, I
Yeah.
would agree that those are all very funny.
Just
Good.
5 minutes of funny. That's all we had time
Great.
for.
But we'll take it. We'll take it. And
But
we might have to implement something where going into this, you let us know what movie we're watching and on a scale of 1 to 10 how funny it is. Just so we're ready. Just so we're prepared. Just so we know.
because Renee's like waiting for them to get to the funny. This movie
the
takes
funny.
itself
Yeah.
so seriously, and I
So
think Marvel
seriously.
eventually realized, oh wait, no, this is about this guy wears purple pants in the comics. Like,
Right.
they did do a line where he needed pants that stretch because he hulks
Right.
out, and
Yeah.
she got him purple pants, and in the comics he wears purple pants, and he's like, I'm not wearing those. But I thought
That's
that was
cute.
funny.
That's yes.
One other thing that maybe like it's kind of a throwaway moment. So the scientist that helps him to get his power to help him to try to control his hulking. The scientist, when he helps the abomination, he gets knocked down and he has like some of the serum goes into his head and his head starts throbbing.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be like he's supposed to be a villain called the leader, and the leader is blue, and he was called Mr. Blue when they were communicating on the internet.
Right.
So the leader is blue, he was wearing blue, and the leader has this giant head, and that he's able to like he's incredibly intelligent. He can kind of do some mind control. And so the idea in the comics is you have the Hulk who's like brute force and the leader who is like supremely intelligent.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I like that. Okay.
But never been seen again. Never been seen again. Because they thought there were going to be more Hulk movies. And people were like, we don't like this.
Okay. That's all right. No, thank you. Okay. Poor Edward Norton. I feel bad for him. Am I wrong to feel bad for him? Or he got too much?
I think his ego was a little bit. I don't know. His ego was a little bit too big for the playground, so he had to get him out. Okay. My other thing that I do love about this movie, I just laugh and giggle at so much. So the final fight takes place in Harlem, my old neighborhood, and there's a scene like the direction. I love watching background extras, and the abomination comes into Harlem, and everyone starts scattering. But there's a fight sequence that takes place for like 10 minutes and there's always extras running around in a direction. And like, I feel like the downtown would have been cleared by now. Like they just keep running. And I just feel like the director was like, all right, more extras run this way. Okay, now run back this way. Like, did someone get out of like they were done shopping? And they're like, what's going on? And then there's just all this back and forth running. I'm like, when something like that happens, it would just clear out and like
scatter.
Scatter. That was it. But it was literally this fight sequence for 10 minutes, and there's still always someone else.
That's a very good point. I didn't notice that specifically, but now I can picture it. That is very funny. It's accurate and hilarious.
Every time I watch the movie, I'm like, I can't wait for this part. It's just I can't help but laugh when I see it. All right, well, that was the Incredible Hulk. It might be definitely my bottom 3 of the MCU movies. So definitely, don't worry. There's at least maybe 1 or 2 other ones that might
going into these that I am like, oh no, is this good? And I can't figure out why. Oh no. But I'm relieved to hear that. Okay.
No, Incredible Hulk. Fan favorite, Incredible Hulk, said no one ever.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair. Again, Edward Norton, I'm sorry. You work so hard, flew too close to the sun, but except what's next?
Okay, so for next week, we'll be doing Thor, the very first Thor. So this will be great.
I love it. Wait, do I love the first Thor?
The first Thor, now this isn't Taika Waititi Thor, so we're not quite to. Thor is going to take himself a little bit seriously, but Natalie Portman is in it. She's amazing and funny in it. Kat Dennings is the comic relief. You'll laugh. And you've got Loki. And Loki is just a scene stealer. And this is directed by Kenneth Branagh. So it's going to have a bit of gravitas. Kenneth Branagh does a lot of like Shakespeare stuff. It's got he definitely carries a weight to it. Great cast. Renee Russo. They're really kicking it up. What's his face? Old man guy. He plays Odin. Oh man, blanking on his name. Not great. Classic actor guy. Anyways, this is a great film. It's good. It's I like it. It's great. It's a good. You'll enjoy it. You will like it.
Can I ask? Okay. Well, and first off, did we tease that Tony Stark showed up at the end of Hulk? Did we cover that?
We did not. Please tell me what happened at the very end of the Incredible Hulk.
Yes. So then Tony Stark shows up, and I was like, I love this movie because they gave it at the very end, and he says, "Hey, we're creating an agency." Is that what he says? We're creating a team.
Yeah,
we're creating a team. And the guy goes, "What team?" And then Tony Stark goes, he gives a look. He gives a, You know what time it is.
Yeah,
And the
yeah, yeah.
audience goes, we do. We know it.
We do know. We do know. And so this was like them kind of trying to piece together. These are all in the same universes. This is technically like the second or third MCU movie that had come out. So this was the first time you're seeing someone go into a different, movie. So it was a big deal. It was a big moment. So there it is. We had Tony Stark guessing
Then,
there.
sorry, do you have time for me to ask another?
Yes.
I feel like I am a crazy person trying to connect the dots with like a billboard and a bulletin board with strings and thing, and like, okay, so this person goes there and that goes there. So you said Kat Dennings is in Thor, but Kat Dennings is also in WandaVision. Is that connect? It does.
Yeah, you'll see a bit of her origin. That's right, because you've only
Interesting.
seen Thor Ragnarok, and she wasn't in that, but she's in the first two Thors. She's in the first
Okay.
two Thors. Yeah, that's where her character comes from. So you'll see she's not
Look
just
at that.
randomly in WandaVision. So
Okay,
when
I
we
did
get
think
back
she was.
there.
I was like, look at there.
Yeah,
Dollface is in
no.
WandaVision.
No. And Anthony Hopkins plays Odin. That's who we were looking for. Anthony Hopkins.
Great. Well,
So here's the thing about the
it all.
Incredible Hulk. It
Yes.
takes place in the same time span as Iron Man 2. As I had mentioned at the very end of Iron Man 2, there's a big map that S.H.I.E.L.D. has.
Right.
Different things that are happening in different parts of the world. And there's like a place in New York that's lit up. That's Harlem, where the Abomination and the Hulk were fighting. Then there's where Thor's hammer is in New Mexico. Some stuff going off in Wakanda.
Yeah.
And so this is happening right around that time. Also, they reference S.H.I.E.L.D. Thunderbolt Ross says, oh, let's check the S.H.I.E.L.D. database. And they check the S.H.I.E.L.D. database. So that's all.
Got it. It genuinely is coming together in a way that it's making sense.
That it's not just these random movies. So yeah. Well, I'm excited for Thor. It's I really enjoyed the first Thor. It's a good romp. You'll enjoy. And then after that Thor, we're back to Avengers. We're in our first Avengers. We will have made it, and it's time to get these guys together. So it'll be the payoff will be there.
Team meeting. Okay. So all hands coming together. Okay.
What's everybody been working on? Full report. All right. Tony, what's going on in the robots?
Right,
the robots
exactly.
department.
Go ahead. Thank you so much. All right. I love it. Hold on. Okay, so set me up for success. Thor scale of 1 to 10 funny.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I think I'm gonna give it a 7, a 6, a 7. I think it's yeah.
That's high praise.
If Ragnarok is like a 10, this one's gonna be like a 6 or a
Ragnarok,
7.
I loved.
Yeah, it's it's comedy hour. It's comedy power hour. Yeah. It's not that. But there's gonna be some funny. There's gonna be some funny. You'll laugh, and I think you'll be entertained as well.
Okay. Well, I am looking forward to it. Speaking of setting ourselves up for success and team meetings, we are moving into it's International Puppet Day, and our plan was to celebrate Puppet Day by ranking our favorite Muppets. But here's what I would love to do, if you're okay, based off the time, because we still have to do Motivational Monday. Could I tell you the difference between a puppet and a Muppet?
Yes.
And then we can sort of sit with it, and then tomorrow we can rank our favorite Muppets.
I love that. And we also want to do our salute to Sesame as well. So we can do that at some point this week as well. So it's we might be celebrating Muppets and Puppets all week long.
It might be Muppets all day long. So first, these international days, which, we love. I don't know that we should celebrate every day, but some origin around that. It is World Puppetry Day. This day aims to recognize puppetry as a global art form. It is also an attempt to pay tribute and honor puppeteers from around the world. World Puppetry Day was established in 2003, and we go on to celebrate every year since. But the question I was curious about was like, okay, so wait, what is the difference between a puppet and a Muppet? Help me out. And the internet was right there for me. It was right there for me. So Muppets are a special type of puppets. Puppets are movable models of people or animals or animated like characters manipulated by people. So it's basically, I think, like a carbonated beverage is like soda, and then Coke
Yeah.
is a specific type. So it's gonna be like
Oh.
that kind of differentiation. But just to clarify a little bit more, puppets can be ventriloquist dummies, sock puppets, finger puppets, marionettes, all of the puppets. Whereas Muppets are specific characters, so like Kermit, Piggy, Fozzie, Pepe the King, Prawn, all of those characters that you love and know. Puppets can be traced back to ancient history. They have been around forever and ever, which I think is cool. Like, who was the first person to like put a little, robe on their hand and be like, "Meow, meow, meow, meow." Hilarious.
And then who is the person to be like, all right, this is an art form and you must go to school to study it. It couldn't just be for fun. And I had a college professor, Kathy Foley, who she taught a puppetry class, and like any show she directed had puppets involved in it. And
I respect that. Yeah.
I don't know if this was a rumor. I didn't hear it straight from her, but I heard it from other people. They said that one of the Muppets was designed off of her. The way that her mouth moved, it was like it moved, like Muppets move from like she had a big like cuts away, and she had like a bowl cut similar to like one of the Muppets.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just college kids being kind of mean or if that was true.
Interesting. No, this sounds right. That sounds. I mean, honestly, it could be both. It could be both. And then obviously Muppets, as you know, were created in the 1970s. So puppets have been around forever. Muppets have just been around for just a little bit. But I'm excited to talk about our favorite Muppets. NPR did this enormous, in-depth 25 top rankings of Muppets and the reasons why they ranked them so much. So I think we should do our own, but then we could also take a little peek at this NPR. Like they were intense about which Muppets got what ranking and why. So it'd be fun for us to have a good time with
I have to tell you, I'm much more. And this, so are the Muppets? This is also going to be a cross between. Like Sesame Street is also considered Muppets. Are they also Muppets as well?
Yeah, because it's all Jim Henson based.
Anything Jim Henson is a Muppet. I'm much more prone to the Muppet Show cast. Anything that was also. I grew up with the Muppet Babies. So I loved seeing their origin story play out. I also appreciate the Muppet Babies. What they did is that they added in. Skeeter had a twin sister that they added in. Otherwise, Miss Piggy is the only lady in the bunch. She's totally just like Smurfetting. And so I really appreciated that and was sad that like
let's get another gal in here.
She's not real in the Muppet Show, that she was made up. And I appreciate that they were like, oh, we got to get another lady in here. They didn't have to. They don't usually. Like, all right, there's an ensemble of 9. We need some diversity. Let's get a lady.
Right. Exactly. But no, and I think Sesame Street has continued to be like, hey, let's make sure we have proper representation in here, which is great.
Yeah. Oh, Scooter and Skeeter. I'm sorry. So Skeeter is the sister. Scooter
is the brother. Yeah. And they're very cute, and we love them. I mean, I think let's do this broad stroke of what's your favorite Muppet, and then at some
point, we gonna do
your favorite Muppet baby.
Do you want to do a rank it style? Should we just rank these? All right. So y'all, you know how we like to play. Well, do we have time? I don't want us to get into this.
Not right now. No. Tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow we'll be ranking such a thing.
Oof. All right. So tomorrow we're going to play Rank It. So you have homework. Think about, we've never given like so much space for a Rank It before. Like we really want to make sure we come correct on this. I think because we want to make sure we honor the Muppets. They absolutely deserve it. And it's also National Puppet Day week for us. We're gonna do National Puppet Week. So there it is.
I love it so much. Well, damn, listen, we have mere minutes left with our sweet get on uppers. We have to get a scoot on into our Monday motivation, the thing that we're looking at to sort of help us out through.
That's me being angry that the show is almost over.
That's a perfect impression. It's great. You've inspired me. Yes. I love them so
it's
much.
like I'm a Muppet and I'm a Muppet in Incredible Hulk, like running away. Uh-oh, the monster.
Uh, Now that would have made my ranking of the Hulk skyrocket. If what was running around was Muppets in the background, perfect. No notes.
Randomly.
That's my favorite Marvel film.
Oh my gosh. Renee, what is your so it's Monday mantra.
Yes.
Y'all probably have some things you need. We're gonna give you some advice for the week. A mantra. So get on uppers, you can chime on in. Do you have a mantra that you are gonna guide you? What you maybe you need help with? Maybe you're manic about some things happening today, this week. What is gonna be your mantra to help get you through the day and this week? Renee, do you have a Monday mantra that you're gonna
Yeah, I
use?
really want to lean into growth mindset. The notion of there's a whole book by Carol something. Sarah, that's a tall order for me to be like, maybe. So there's a book called Mindset by Carol something, and she like breaks down. She's a scientist. She's a psychologist. She's all the things that study the brain. Of people either have a fixed mindset where they're like, I am talented at this, I am good at this, and that is it, or a growth mindset of I don't know how to do that yet, but I'll learn. And so to like really stay in the growth mindset because I'm learning a lot at this job, and I think as you learn, you're not going to get it right. You're gonna fail. You're gonna embarrass yourself a little bit, but you're like, but I'm learning, and there's no other way for me to learn this than to not do it right, and then to come at it again, and then do it better, and then do it better, and then do it better. So my advice for myself, and I can't give it to anybody else, is just stay in that growth mindset. You can learn anything if you just don't quit.
Well, and that's what helps you to no, that's what we're here for, and on the heavy. But it also helps you stay out of being a perfectionist because you're in that space of being curious. You're in that growth mindset. You're asking questions. You're kind of like that beginner's baby mind to be able to ask those questions and to stay curious and to help get out of being in that perfectionist space of like. You're in a creative space. Why should it? It's not going to be perfect.
It's not going to be perfect. And DeWick is the last name. So Mindset by Carol DeWick, if you want to hop on board with this book that I really liked. That was really good.
Okay, Carol.
Just staying in growth mindset. Great.
Oh, so one thing too I want to point out too that I love that you said the word embarrass instead of humiliate. Because as I'm reading Brene Brown's book, she talks about the difference between being embarrassed and humiliated. Whereas embarrassment, it's fleeting, it'll happen real quick, and it could happen to anybody. So you're like, this thing happened, it was embarrassing. You felt like, oh, this could have happened to anybody. It's like, okay, my cheeks turned red. But humiliation is like almost like a violation that happened to you. And it was just devastating. It almost felt like an attack. And so I'm glad, and I was thinking about this. We're wrapping up the show and I'm diving into Brene Brown. But I don't think I've ever really been humiliated before. I mean, humiliation is like, the scene in Carrie. The blood comes pouring down. That was being humiliated, I don't know if I've ever been. There's like a vindictiveness I feel like happens on the other side of humiliation. So I don't know if I've ever been humiliated before.
Great, I have.
No,
and you can't think of humiliation without the Sex and the City. Carrie gets left at the altar, and she's in the middle of the street. She's in a thing, and she's like, "I was humiliated," and so I can't think of the word humiliated without making it 4 syllables. Humiliated, 5 syllables.
That was being humiliated. Absolutely, left with the offering for everybody. Like, oof, it just is painful. Like embarrassing is like, oh, okay, okay, I'm totally embarrassed, but move through. My mantra is it's gonna sound simple. It's like let it go. Just like Jesus, take the wheel, let it go. You ain't gotta be in control of nothing. Just find that state of flow. I was trying to control so much yesterday with going to the amusement park, and there were so many things that were just not lining up. It was just like the roadblock here, the ferries not at 9:50, it's at 10:30. Like, oh, you didn't bring your headphones. Like, I spent like 30 minutes walking around downtown San Francisco where everything's closed. Look, because I forgot my headphones. I'm like, I'm gonna buy some new headphones. James, just read a book. You don't need music. Like, okay, the lines are a lot. Like, but I was walking around for 30 minutes when I could have just but sit still and read your book. Let things go. You don't have to be in control of anything because you're not in control of anything. So just surrender, let go. Just surrender, let go. That's my Monday mantra.
Great. Great. We love it. Well, sweet, get on uppers. We've been having such a good time with you. Thank you for joining the show. We're going to be back again tomorrow. In fact, we're here every weekday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 8 a.m. Mountain time, 9 a.m. Central time, and 10 a.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow is our Tuesday show, formerly known as Ruby Buffy Tuesday. Jam, you want to let them know real quick what they're getting themselves into for tomorrow?
Well, it is Tuesday. Treat Yourself Tuesday. So we're going to check in and we want to know what y'all are going to treat yourself to by the end of the day or later on this week. We're going to have another Women's History moment. We're going to do some more celebrity birthday quiz. We're going to rank it. These puppets. These Muppets are not going to rank themselves. So we want to know what are your top 3. Who's your Beyonce Muppet? Who's your Kelly Rowland Muppet? Who's your Michelle Muppet? We want to know. We're going to dive in. Maybe we'll even talk about a salute to Sesame Street. So many possible things. And we'll bring you some of the news or headlines that we are seeing that we want to talk to y'all about and know what you're thinking about these stories that are hitting our eyes and ears and face. Sometimes the news just slaps you. It just slaps you.
Sure are. And there's more Backchannel where we are right now. Up next is Anthony Davis, followed by your pal Hal, and then Mario Smith right here on Backchannel.
Well, y'all have your day planned out, so we're going to get on out of here so the other show can get on in here. We got on up, and we're going to get on out. Thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget, head on over to www.backchannel.tv, leave a review, let us know how much you love Muppets and how much you love Marvel and how much you love us. We want to hear all the lovely things about it. Thank you all so much for watching Get On Up. I'm James Arthur M.
And I'm Renee Colbert, and you just
got on.
Have a great day, guys.